So the future of AI music is here with Suno version 4, but is it the dawn of a new era or the end of human creativity? A couple things I want to do here in this video. I don't want to give you like a full-blown review, but I do want to kind of give you a mini review. I've been playing around with Suno V3 and V4, and I have a lot of thoughts. This is something I've turned out to actually really like, use it quite a bit, not just to create stuff, but actually to listen to. And so let's talk a little bit about V4. If you're not sure what this is, basically Suno lets you go in and input a prompt and end up with a couple of songs on the other side. So it's number one, V4 is the new version, just came out. It's very good. Like the voices sound really good. The instruments sound really good. The way that it does the bridge and the chorus and the actual texturing and layers that go into just the song making, it's pretty jaw-dropping, right? Now with V4, you have better lyrics, better audio, the structures and everything. It's just pretty incredible. Now, recently, like just a week or two ago, I uploaded, if you go to Daily Tech 2, which is this channel, and you go to videos and you scroll all the way down, you'll see a couple of weeks ago, there's this playlist that I made, the Accelerate playlist, and that's full of about 40 some minutes of V3 songs on there. So number one, you can go and listen and just check it out. They're still like quite impressive. But here's what's crazy. I went through and I remastered those in V4, and yeah, it's pretty incredible how much better it sounded. Like I already was really impressed with V3. I put those favorite songs, those are some of them that I like, into V4. And first of all, it's like super fast, right? It's a matter of seconds and you get a couple of options to choose from. If you don't like those, you can re-roll it again and again and again. I think the plan I'm on, I have like 10,000 credits or something, or 8,000 something to blow through every month. And they go pretty quick, you know, because it's kind of addicting. And here's what's funny. I had somebody comment and they were like, this puts everything into context. How did you do this? How were you involved with the playlist that I just talked about? They're like, did you sing in this? Did you like write some of the music? Was this AI? I was like, no, it was AI. But it got me thinking, what was my involvement? Well, my involvement was paying for the money, right? Like it's 30 bucks a month or whatever for this plan. And I think there's a cheaper plan. So that's part of it. A lot of people aren't going to do that. Another part is just the imagination, like the prompting. And of course, anybody can go in and be like, make a song about whatever and have it spit something out. But I think there's a lot of people are going to use this in very different ways, right? You can take it very seriously or you can kind of treat it like a hobby. And if you're taking it seriously, maybe you have a specific genre or type of song in your mind. For me, with that playlist, I wanted something, I didn't even know what I wanted, but there was a particular sound that I was after, and I asked an LLM about it, and it spit out, oh, you're kind of looking for garage pop or like indie alternative that's kind of danceable. And I knew I wanted something with a really chunky, nice bass line. You can hear that bass line in a lot of those songs. And actually, I'd be curious, if you're a music fan, go check it out and see if there's a band that those songs sort of remind you of. See if anybody can guess it. And then I had some specific things that this quote unquote playlist, which I kind of treated like an album, was going to feature. First things first, are you subscribed to the newsletter? Thousands of people are getting great app and accessory recommendations, making their Apple ecosystem that much cooler. Also, I've got a course coming out on AI and how you can capitalize on all the opportunities. It's in pre-sale right now, so you can save a ton of money. Comes out in like a month. Or you can take my productivity course right now, or check out my course on Apple's Freeform app right now, among several other cool courses. They're all linked up down below for you. So the reason that it's called the Accelerate playlist is because this is sort of like successful advice for people like don't have FOMO and stuff, put to music. And it was kind of like a reminder to myself as well, but just like do the hard things in life because they're worth doing. There's like all this kind of wisdom that I wanted to bake into song format and then listen to and let other people listen to just for their own good, basically. So it was like, I sort of had this idea. It's not just like, what is something that sounds good? It was like, what if I could make music that's really useful? And that's what Suno V4 lets me do and do really well. And what I mean by that is, you know, if there's a song out there that you recognize, that everybody recognizes, that song was made for everyone to recognize. It wasn't necessarily a song for you, like it was useful for you. And I've been using Suno to sort of speak to myself. So like, this is kind of, you're gonna be like, what, who's doing this? This is kind of dorky, but like I'm a big C.S. Lewis, Dostoevsky fan, you know, Chesterton sort of a fan. Like I like to read that stuff, philosophy and stuff. So I'll take a great quote, like Dostoevsky has this great quote about, this is not something anyone would ever make a song about. You know, the worst thing is to like betray yourself for nothing. And I was like, what if I turned that into a song and then it was really catchy and great? and the lyrics were like really awesome. And then I would listen to that and sort of like let that seep in. And so I've been doing that. I've been sort of like having playlists, of course, one for like a workout that's more like EDM, like inspired. But it's just really cool to be able to have personalized music. And I talk about this in my upcoming AI course. It's like one of the possible futures that AI could take us towards, and there's several. And the course is linked up down below if you want to pre-order, by the way, is that we could have like hyper personalization where everybody like is in their own little bubble and talking about from VR to AR to this kind of thing, like to the music that they listen to. There's going to be less and less shared in common stuff out there. And I'm not saying that's guaranteed to happen, but it will happen to some extent because I see that happening here. Like I'm liking the music that's being created here so much that I'm not really listening to, mass produced music as much anymore because it doesn't mean anything to me. It's not useful to me. I really don't want something that just sounds good necessarily. I want something that actually fits into, let's say, my goals and my worldview and stuff like that. And it's just really cool to be able to have an idea, go in. Now, here's the thing. It still takes you a bunch of time to do this, right? So here's the other part of the equation. That person's like, well, what was your involvement here? You have to have the imagination. You have to understand like what you're after and then be able to describe it in a way that will produce the results you like. And then you're going to get a lot of output. And just because you do a prompt and you say, give me this sort of song with this sort of style or whatever, doesn't mean you're going to get it on the first try. Actually, I found that I burned through the credits so fast because I'll sift through, I don't know, 10 or 20 versions before I hit on something that has A, lyrics that fit with what I'm after and that sound good, and then B, the sound that I'm after. And it's really unfortunate. Sometimes you'll get like the sound, but not the lyrics or vice versa. And so it takes a lot of credits, takes a lot of time to sit there and sift through, even if you have that vision and you're able to describe what you want in your head. So then it turns into a curation thing. Even though you can do this, it's a possibility and it exists. There's another human component, which is just going through and curating the output and putting it together into something like this, a playlist, and then being able to share that either or keep it to yourself. There's a playlist feature there, and it's like the app lets you just use this like you would Spotify or Apple Music, right? Or you could download the music as well. There's a commercial license if you want to do something with it commercially, put it in the background of your YouTube video or something. So it's really cool. I would encourage you to go check out that playlist that I made with V3, then go mess around with V4 and just have a blast. It's really fun. So my little mini review here is that I like it. It's like one of my new favorite hobbies almost. And I don't consider myself a musician, obviously, that'd be stupid. So this is a different sort of creativity, I feel like. And that's with a lot of AI. I'm not like a writer, just if I use ChatGPT to go write an article or something, or have it write an article for me, that doesn't make me a writer, right? But I can be creative in different ways with the prompting, right? And produce something that wouldn't exist if I hadn't made it come into existence. That's kind of like what I'm talking about here with Suno and this music. And that's kind of how I see it fitting into, what I'm doing. So there's a reason why the logo for the AI course has a human fingerprint with the word AI superimposed in there, because I think the coolest future is where you can use AI to empower yourself to do things that you couldn't do otherwise. So check out the course, check out that. All this stuff's linked up down below, but give me your thoughts.